Hello and welcome back to another 6-scale figure review with me, your host, that Metromania. And today we have the last figure that I plan on getting from the Ahsoka line, unless they make the robot guy I can't remember the name of all of a sudden. Hu Yang. Unless they make Hu Yang, this will be the last figure I get from Ahsoka anytime soon. And it seems like the Ahsoka train has slowed down, so probably not happening. But maybe with Season 2. Also Ezra. I would get Ezra, but I'm not really counting that because that's more like a Rebels thing in my mind. Even though he's in Ahsoka, I count that more as a Rebels thing. It's like Sabine and Hera. You know how it is. But Shin, Hati... Shin a little too Hati. So she's the last one I'm getting. Baylan's apprentice with her cool little orangey red lightsaber. And I've been really looking forward to this one. I'm shocked that Hot Toys didn't try to push a rooted hair version of this one because I feel like it would have probably sold decently well. But the sculpted hair does look fine. I'm pretty happy about it. I like the color. I like the box. Normal Star Wars box. You know, your pretty straightforward stuff. You see the figure. You see a little figure thing right there. Flipping it around, you see the back. That is always the same on a Star Wars box. And it is a nice pull open. So you never really have to worry about the box breaking because of the stupid way that the Marvel boxes are designed. Anyway, let's get her out of the box and onto the spinning turntable. So here she is out of the box with her cloak robe thing on. It's more like a cape with a hood. It's kind of like what Lego Star Wars did. Instead of having them in their robes, they just gave them a cape and called it a day. And I do like this. I like this outfit choice a lot. It works better to me than the robe. I think the robe gets in the way of a Jedi. So I like this like cloak cape piece here. This looks really cool. And the outfit is really nice. I love the way this outfit is put together. Her and Baylan have some fantastic looking outfits. And I think they did a really good job in the old character design department when they came up with these outfits for her and Baylan. They're way more specific and aesthetic to what they were looking for, especially Baylan. And she keeps that theme going with like the way the armor is and the coloration, so they look like they match as a unit, you know, with just their own variations of color. Also that she's a woman, so she can't be the exact same as that guy because he's an old man and she's a young woman, so those are two different things. I think I can't really say for sure in the Star Wars universe, but yes, this does look really good and I can't wait to talk about it. So why don't we get her off of the spinning turntable and take a look at everything that she comes with. So here we have her, all nice and looking good. Let's start with her accessories as always, and her lightsaber is super cool. It's got this weird like tri-column like thing at the top for the emitter, so it all feels like it focuses on that point. The hilt has this like white, like whitish tan pattern to it. It's a nice, it feels more blunt as opposed to elegant. Like it feels like I'd rather swing this as like a hammer than I would as a lightsaber. So it feels more aggressive in its designing, which is nice because they you know, Baylan obviously was a bit more aggressive, a bit more heavy swing than an elegant like fencer. And as the apprentice of Baylan, you would expect the same kind of bluntness out of Shin. And it shows in the lightsaber alone. And we also have the light-up version of it, which I never use because they're always so mediocre. We do have our swinging effect, which, again, to this day, I still feel like should have a little curvation to it. I don't know, it just feels a little weird with it just being like a straight, like... And then we have our regular one, both in this nice, like, orangey red to represent how it actually looks in the show, despite it sometimes coming up and looking a little bit more red than orange in the show. We also have this little droid guy, you know, the little searchy droid. The eyeball has this nice little red translucent tint to it. I like it. I like this silly little guy. He really speaks to me. I will name him Edmund. So Edmund here does look really good. I like the shiny silver on him and the white on top. Kind of gives you that future retro vibe of like the Jetsons or like the new Fantastic Four movie with its like circular future-ish colors. But I like him. Edmund, cool accessory. Edmund's got to go now because we got to talk about, you know, the baddie herself. So here is her face. The hair is really nicely done. It looks like well depth hair. It doesn't just look like it's like a sculpted exterior. It does look like there's a lot of depth to this hair, and it does come out really nice. And you can see her Padawan braid here does have some color in it. We got these little like green jewels and this black one up here, and the actual braid itself. So you can see that Baylan does still follow some of the old Jedi teachings with the way the Padawans are trained. She's got these very aggressive bangs here that are really something, huh? That's a more modern day thing. You know, the bangs are coming back, I'm telling you. And she's got this lovely look on her face. You can see all these little bobbly dots on her face, which I'm assuming are moles in a weird like half pattern. I've never really noticed that, but you can see it's like a fish hook almost. That's cool. That's a cool little. She's got these nice eyes that I believe are posable, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, she's got this nice, it's a softer face, not too aggressive, but it does look really good, and the hair color is really nice. There is a little bit of black up here at the top. It's darker. It's where the color starts, and then you can see all the rest of the color blends in from there. So it does look really, really good. We do have this cloak here, which I talked about previously, which is really nice. It's got this wired hood, which the wire is really good actually, so you can get some really good wiring out of it. It's just not as long as you'd want it to be, so it doesn't quite. Maybe it is. Maybe I was just screwed up the last time. No, it's not as long as you'd expect it to be, so it doesn't quite like cover the face, but you can get some good hood action in there. It does have this little patch of whatever up here. It's like a rugged bit, but the rest is all just this nice brown, and it does come off. There is a clasp. You could do the clasp, and it does just come off fairly nicely, and you can see that there is a nice outfit underneath. Feels it's got a Joan of Arc aesthetic feeling to it, you know, like armory, thinner armor woman kind of vibe to it. And I love the way it feels because it doesn't feel overly clunky, but you can still see all these nice armored bits, like especially on the arms here. I love these shoulder pads. Oh, they look so nice with this, like the angular dents, and it comes down and it's not rounded but more squared off. I think it looks really good. I like this underneath. It kind of reminds me of like Transformers 4 Optimus Prime, with like when he goes and he's like, oh, I'm a knight now. It kind of gives me that same vibe here with like the way this is like paneled. And we have the wrist panels here that kind of remind me of just like a straight Mandalorian, but way more way more weathered. It's got this brownish bronze on the edge, and it looks really, really good. We've got this chest piece here, which is more of a fabric, and it's similar to Baylan's. It looks really, really good overall. You come into the back, and you can see it's held together by the same spine technology as Dead Space. And I very much like this outfit. You do lose a little bit of this fun detail when you put the cloak on. I do like the cloak, but honestly, now that I've taken it off and I'm really looking at it, you can see how much more detail there is when you're not hiding it under the brown of the cloak. And it's really nice. We got a cool little belt buckle here that represents something. It's a cool shape. It looks like a sun, which does have some like thigh armor, lead onto some thigh armor here. And you can see we have our kind of normal tattered like Jedi skirt feeling. It does have this little bit here, like a burn mark. Like this outfit, you can see that it's, I'm trying to get this without it looking like she's got the biggest backside in the world because of the grabber. But you can see that there's so much story being told in this outfit. It's not clean. It's been used for a long time. It's got a lot to tell, and that's what I like of in an outfit. We do have our little lightsaber holder here. And you can see the back of the belt just kind of covers itself off right here. Yeah, once we get past this fabric, it is just like these cool, more a little bit metal shin plates. And then we have shin plates, get it? Ha, 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 ha. Please laugh. Then we have our boots, which are split cut, which is always nice. We've got these bigger outer boots with all these straps. The pants are just straight black, by the way. But it is a lovely outfit, I can say with absolute certainty that I absolutely love the way this outfit is. I think it's really good with or without the cloak over it. And I think that they did a fantastic job at designing this. And I think Hot Toys has done a really good job at replicating, especially with all of this, like I said, this crazy detail here. Like something like this is very easily scriptable, but they did a fantastic job of just getting it all done. For the most part, it's not too complicated, but at the same time, it has complicated features like all of this, like overlapping such. It's just really nice overall. And I'm really excited to bring Balin out here so we can have them standing side by side. So why don't I do that right now? So once again, Balin is just extraordinarily tall. He is crazy compared to like everybody else, and it looks really good. Why is this not centered? There we go. He towers over Shin, which makes sense because he does in the show, and they look awesome together. I think their outfits have a nice theme to them. I think the only thing that could have made it better was if Balin had a little bit more of the shiny, like, silver armory bits to it. But what he does have works really, really well, so I can't complain overall. But they look fantastic together, and I'm super happy to finally have these two and to finally be wrapping up my Ahsoka collection overall, because there's been some real ups and downs and all over the places, and a lot that I've skipped and a lot that I haven't skipped, and you know, it's just a lot to take in. But we're finally at the end, and it ends with Shin, and these two look really good together. But what I'm going to do now is something a little crazy. I'm just going to bring out the entire Ahsoka line that I have and have them standing here, I guess. Let's get nuts with it. So here is every figure I got from Ahsoka. You can see there's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 figures. That's a lot of money right there. Money well worth spent, because not only does Ahsoka bring back those characters that I loved, but it also introduces me to new characters that I could fall in love with. So I got not only the Rebels cast, I got new characters like Balin and Shin that I could easily fall in love with, that melt right into the Star Wars mythos oh so perfectly. And we get to see how everyone interacts and how the world has changed, and everything just looks really good. The translations from animation to live action, the characters that have that are really well done, with Hera, Sabine, and Thrawn, and Ahsoka here even. Chopper I don't count, because Chopper is a droid, and he was in Rogue One, so he's already done it. Balin and Shin here just add themselves into the mix, and overall just makes for a fantastic lineup, and I'm so happy that I have all of this. Like I said, a few more that I would have liked to have, a few more I would love to have, especially now that I have half of the Ghost crew. Azra, Kanan, and Zeb would be awesome to have at some point. But for now, this is everything I've gotten from the Ahsoka line, and I'm happy with all of them. Some of them have their problems, but for the most part, I think they all came out fantastically. And it's nice to see, because sometimes Hot Toys will just kind of like smidgel their way towards the end ones, or they'll just kind of do whatever, and sometimes one will be really bad, but the rest will be really good. But in here, they've put their all into this one, and I'm glad that they did, because it really is nice to see. But they all got to go home, and we got to go move on to articulation. So we can get our life ending 360 degrees. You just got to be careful with the Padawan braid. I couldn't remember the word there. The head is really tight on here. I'm not sure if that's just my copy or everyone's copy. You know, your copy, everyone's copy. But mine was a little but it's not too bad. Arm goes up about that far. Just be careful with that shoulder piece there. It's velcroed on, so you could technically just take it off for the most part, but I don't know why you would want to. Arm goes up that far. Arm goes back that far. There's no real resistance from this outfit, which I expected there to be. A little bit past 90, not too crazy. The smallest bit of ab crunch, but it's really non-existent. Really good spread for the most part. Leg goes up that far. Leg goes back further than most legs do. Solid knee bend and ankle articulation makes for a very well balanced Jedi, evil Jedi character thing. Let's take Shin and wrap up this video. Oh, it's so nice to finish another collection here. I'm so happy that I finally have these two together, because Baylan's been sitting there for at least a month by himself, a little lonely. So it's finally nice to have his good pal Shin to have his back, despite him kind of just abandoning her at the end of the show completely and utterly. Which, you know, normal stuff. Sometimes the bird's gotta fly the coop. Sometimes your evil little non-Jedi apprentice needs to go sit with a band of bandit raider guys who attack little crab people. That's just a normal circle of life. And in this case, Shin is just as good as Baylan. They are both fantastic as a group, and I'm so happy to finally have both of them together, because I've been waiting to finish this line, and I've been waiting for her specifically, because she's the one that I've been wanting to get to go with Baylan. So it's just nice to have the two of them together. At long last, I got 2 copies of the Ahsoka series on Blu-ray before I got one Shin Hati. And that's not my fault. Amazon just sent it to me twice. To which, thanks Amazon, I guess, but I didn't want the second copy. I already got the first one. So we're good there. But yes, I'm very happy with the way she turned out. I think it looks really good. I think everything about the outfit is really good. I think that having the second option of the cloak with the hood is also really nice, despite it kind of covering, like I said, a lot of these cooler details, because the brown will cover the shoulders and some of the back, like the back stuff. So you're really missing out on a lot of these cooler, smaller details that you might not see, because you're like, man, I want the cloak with a hood on. I can't decide which look I'm going to go with overall, because again, I really like the cloak with a hood on look too, but this also looks really good. So I'm going to have to probably flip a coin or something to decide what I'm planning on doing. If you have Shin and Baylan, do you have them in their cloaks, or do you have them out and about like this with the regular clothing and no cloak and hood on? You know, just what did you decide to do for your collection? Because I can't decide now that I have both of them. I thought I was going to do the cloak and the hood thing, but now that I have Shin here and Baylan out of their cloaks, honestly, I might just keep it off of them completely, because they do look just as good, and it doesn't cover as much detail. I think I'm swaying more towards the cloak off look now all of a sudden. That's crazy. But yeah, I'm very happy with these two, and I'm very happy with the whole line as a whole, like I said. So, what have you picked up from the Ahsoka line? Have you picked up anything? Have you picked up all of it? Have you picked up specific things? What have you gotten out of this? Because I've gotten a good lot, and I'm very happy with this whole lot. I think they, again, have been stellar. So I'm happy that Hot Toys has gone as far as they did. I wish they would go as far as they did with this, with some other things, because you never know. I just feel like there's a lot more untapped potential. But if you enjoyed the video, feel free to like and subscribe, because the channel's been doing really nicely recently, and I'd love to keep that momentum rolling, because it's the time of my life. We get to talk about Hati Shinnies here, and all of that other good stuff. And there's always more to come. I've got a good couple fun things in the next little bit here, so stay tuned, because we're going to keep the ball rolling. And with all of that out of the way, I've been me, and you've been you, and thank you for watching another 6-scale figure review. Hopefully you join me next time when we review something maybe new. I will see you then.